As an enterprise, are you missing a tool that allows you to monitor and enforce your acceptable use policy of internet usage, apps and sites for your employees and maybe your equipment too? Let's dig into what that would look like. So, your employees, they come to work, maybe they have a bring your own device, meaning their own cell phones, or maybe they're using corporate laptops, corporate iPads, etc. At work, at different locations at work, different buildings, etc. You may even have some machinery that could be up to no good using the Wi-Fi network and the internet. Monitoring and managing what the employees are doing and allowed to do, we at AppLogicNetworks call acceptable use policy. And there are many reasons why you may want to do this. Number one, productivity. Time spent on social media, on porn, on messaging, on streaming video, YouTube, etc., when it takes away from your employees doing their job, that's not good for your business. So you want to get on top of that. You also want to have a look at brand protection. What your employees are doing online, creating a footprint, could reflect badly on your brand. Especially some brands are more sensitive than others, depending on what the enterprise's main business is. There could be security reasons why you want to manage your employees' traffic. Maybe they're exposing themselves to unnecessary risks by using apps they shouldn't be. And that's especially true for equipment, where if equipment gets infected by malware, that has a particular security concern. Number 4, similar but different, is safety. If the role of the individual is to drive a truck, then it's probably not a good idea if they're messaging, if they're watching video, or uploading something at the same time as they're doing their job. So those are the reasons for doing acceptable use policy. But the policy itself has a few basic elements. We have the who. Different policies may apply differently to different roles in the organization and different individuals. It's not the same policy for all. We have where. You may actually want to have a different policy for someone like a security guard sitting at the security booth compared to when he's walking there or when he is at a break. So the location may actually play into the policy. And of course the time. During the lunch break, you may have different rules, especially as it relates to productivity, than during full business hours. And then these come together in the policy, but you also need to decide how strict you want to be. Do you want to have a default deny? Or do you want to have default allow? Default deny means that everything is blocked except a few things that you say are acceptable during business hours. Default allow allows everything except a list of things that you decide to block. Default deny I would recommend for equipment, where it's much more deterministic to know what they're going to do. The equipment is talking to some command and control equipment, It is maybe being monitored for health. It also needs to download software updates, etc. So that is a short list of distinct things that it needs to be able to do, and nothing else. Whereas individual people, it may be better to do a default allow policy and decide what you don't like them to do. Which brings us to the what, which is what should you allow and what should you block? And let's start with something simple. Should you allow porn or adult content on your staff equipment and during their work hours? Probably not, for several reasons, both for productivity and maybe for brand. Then what about something maybe a little less clear-cut? Social media. Will it interfere with productivity? Yes. Will it interfere with brand protection or your brand? Maybe. If they're uploading or writing things about you as an employer on their work time, that could definitely be going against policy. Messaging. Probably okay, but if they're uploading large videos or hundreds of gigabytes per day, then that could be concerning. And so these two here, you may want to look at a quota. Like a little bit is okay, but not too much. What about streaming video? Could or could not be okay. Definitely a large productivity problem. What about VPNs? Should they be allowed to use any other VPNs than the one that corporate IT has decided? All of this are just examples of applications, sites, or content that you should consider not allowing in your enterprise. All of this is what AppLogicNetworks calls acceptable use policy. And it's about monitoring that it's being followed, monitoring the activity of employees and equipment so that you can continue to evolve your corporate policy, because the internet and apps and devices change all the time, as does social behavior. And then enforcing it, taking it out of your network and increasing your productivity, protecting your brand, making your networks and devices and users more secure, and making the work that they do safer. And that is how AppLogicNetworks make enterprise networks better.